Why are you, ma'am? Why are you, am I being detained? I do not consent to any seizures or search. What crime do you suspect me of committing? What crime?
Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I'm the Creaky Blinder, and if it's your first time here, it doesn't matter, I'm the Creaky Blinder either way, so hi! Now, filmed interactions with police that make headlines or spread on social media are definitely not a new phenomenon, but a growing movement of self-described First Amendment auditors has forced some police departments to review how they respond to First Amendment audits. These videos, often posted to YouTube, have become a form of activism, and these wonderful law-abiding citizens will stake out a public facility and record the location and any interactions with staff and the public. An uneventful audit is like passing a test. Woohoo! While a confrontational audit means they failed. Boo! This is the first time I've looked into this new kind of... Look, let's just see how things went for Auditing America when he did this very important and essential work at the headquarters of the Rhode Island National Guard. Tidy!
Hello everyone. Today we're at the headquarters, Rhode Island National Guard. We are conducting a First Amendment audit.
Right, for those who don't know, First Amendment audits involve photographing or filming a public space. It's categorized by the auditors as activism and citizen journalism to test their constitutional rights. In particular, the right to photograph and video record in a public space, obviously. Now, in the last 24 hours, I've watched a lot of these videos. For research purposes, obviously. And the one question I found myself asking myself is, why?
To see how much they respect my authority. Freedom of press.
Press? Ah, right, so you're the press and not just some random guy with a smartphone and a bad attitude.
I'm alright.
Well, for you, if you want to disregard.
What are you doing over here?
Just videotaping.
What are you videotaping?
Facility.
Why are you videotaping the facility?
Okay.
It's my own purposes.
So, what's going on?
I don't answer questions.
Do you have any ID on your bud?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, we got a call for a suspicious person, okay? Because this is kind of suspicious behavior.
I have to agree. If you're lurking around recording video footage, even if it is in a public area with no explanation why, or at the very least saying who you are, then most people probably would consider it to be suspicious.
Okay, what crime do you suspect me of committing?
She didn't say anything about a crime. All she's done is ask you a perfectly reasonable question. Who are you and what are you doing? Now, to me, this type of response instantly says, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can.
After being called out for a suspicious person report, the officer approaches the auditor and starts asking probing questions. It didn't take long for this officer to ask for the ID, but the auditor stands his ground and states a couple times he doesn't answer questions. Rhode Island is not a stop and identify state. Since the auditor has not committed a crime, he does not have to identify.
And that's fine for now, but I would argue that she didn't stop him anyway. She was responding to a call, and the police are duty bound to investigate calls. Suspicious behaviour was reported, and all the officer is trying to establish is whether or not this guy's behaviour warrants police action. To me, if he's doing nothing wrong, then all he has to do is show his ID, the officer would say, "Thank you, sir," and go about her business. But oh no.
Let's just talk about when you're standing in front of a facility that's a government building, and you're filming it like that, you caught the attention of the security guards, right? There might be some cause for concern for who you are and if you intend to do anybody any harm over here.
Well, I have no ill will.
Alright, well I can't take your word for it, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to identify yourself.
Well, do you know that we're standing in a public property?
That's fantastic.
And
I'm
unless
the
you're...
police, okay?
I understand.
I'm investigating something right now.
Okay, so am I.
Service, okay?
So am I.
What are you investigating?
I'm a private investigative journalist gathering content for a story. And you should know that unless I'm being suspected of a crime, I don't have to provide ID.
Well, until I can determine that you are not committing a crime, I'm going to ask you for your ID.
Well, I think I'm going to have to decline to that, ma'am. Do you have a... What's your name and badge number?
You can decline. It's on my chest.
What's your name? I don't see your name in your chest.
Well, you haven't identified yourself to me either. So
I don't have to, ma'am. You're a government official. You're entitled to identify yourself.
Fantastic.
Ah, right, so you don't have to identify yourself, but the officer does?
Do not identify yourself to me.
Yes.
We continue to do this.
Yes.
Can you tie me up?
Yes.
Okay. Let's not make a bigger thing than we have to.
It's not. I'm just doing a lawfully protected.
Can you identify yourself as a journalist?
Well, no, of course he can't, mainly because he probably isn't, and obviously I don't know that for sure, but if I had to take a stab at it, I would say that he's nothing more than a douchebag with a camera.
I don't have to, ma'am. This is the United States of America. No, I don't,
I
ma'am.
think you need to review the laws.
Maybe you need to review the laws.
Nope.
Oh yeah, because the police don't spend any time learning the laws that they're expected to uphold, do they?
What's going to happen is you're going to identify yourself. If you choose not to identify yourself, because now I've asked you about 4 times already.
Not gonna happen.
Then this is going to rise to the level of obstruction of justice because I have to figure out
What crime? What crime do you suspect
You won't tell me what you're doing here.
I already told you, ma'am.
Your behavior is highly suspicious.
I already told you,
There's
ma'am.
No, you're not explaining.
Can I speak to your
anything.
supervisor?
If you say
Now, in the UK, if you refuse to provide your name, address, date of birth, nationality after you've been asked to by the police, refusal is an offence and you can be arrested and charged for it. And as far as I can see, similar laws apply in the States. And I know that different states have different laws, but this guy seems to be escalating the situation for no good reason at all, other than being a complete... Hang on, did he just ask to speak to a supervisor? So this guy is escalating the situation for no reason at all, other than being a complete Karen. Just give the officer your name and stop wasting her time. Plus the other officer that's just had to attend because you're being an uncooperative douchebag. If you knew the law as well as you claim, then surely you'd know it's an offence not to identify yourself in these circumstances. You've been reported for behaving suspiciously.
simply identify yourself
Well, ma'am.
and explain what's going on here, then we don't have an issue.
I already
but I'm
told
going to
you.
start to get aggravated
Well-
if you take up more of my time today. Do you understand?
Well, ma'am.
Okay?
You're taking time for yourself. I'm a public citizen. I'm on a public sidewalk recording a public building. Unless you're suspecting me of committing any crime.
She isn't suspecting you of anything other than what you were reported for, which was behaving suspiciously. So show her your ID, explain what you're doing, which in most cases isn't against the law, because filming in public generally isn't illegal, and then boom, you're free to carry on being a complete tool.
Then I suggest for you to treat me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me.
There we go, he's getting exactly what he wanted. Now he's successfully managed to bait the officer into reacting to his childlike behaviour. So now not only has he managed to waste her time at the curbside, now she's going to have hours and hours more of her time wasted by a guy who had essentially done nothing wrong, really, until of course he went full Karen on her and refused to say who he was and why he was there. Can't these idiots just see that if they identified themselves, they'd be left to it? And they could be even bigger douches then? They'd love that.
Sadly, from the start of this police interaction, the female officer continued to escalate the encounter. She started getting aggravated with the auditor since he would not self-identify. Even her voice escalated in volume due to this aggravation.
Can you blame her? He was acting like a 6-year-old.
No, I don't want to, and you can't make me.
So no, it wasn't the officer that escalated the interaction. It was the idiot holding a camera doing his important investigation. But every cloud, as they say.
Why are you, ma'am? Why are you? Am I being
Put
detained?
that down. You
Ma'am.
can't have anything in your hands right now. Put that
I-
down. I'm ordering you to
I
put
do
that
not
out
consent
of
to
your
any
hands.
seizures or searches.
Drop that.
Why are you, ma'am? Why are you? Am I being
Put
detained?
that down. Out of your hand now.
I do not consent to any seizures or searches.
That's fine. You don't have to.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
No, I don't want anything.
What time? What crime?
My safety.
Am I being
I'm
detained?
asking you to put that down.
She's patting you down for what?
I'm not asking
problem.
you. I'm telling you.
Down for what?
This is an illegal detention. What you're doing right now?
Illegal detention.
Yes, it is, because I am a private citizen gathering content for a story, and you guys are harassing me. I will file a formal complaint on you, ma'am.
Ooh, a formal complaint. I bet she's absolutely shitting herself. And she doesn't suspect you of anything, you moron. She witnessed the crime. I think you'll find you're being arrested for failing to identify. So that's the crime. And just as a side point, until you refuse to identify, you technically hadn't done anything wrong. No crime had been committed, as far as the video shows anyway.
I am a private citizen.
I thought you were a journalist. But now you're being arrested, you're suddenly a private citizen. Tough luck. Journalists, private citizens, they can all go to jail.
Right now.
You guys,
Understand?
you guys are violating my rights. You guys are violating my rights. I have not crossed any. What's your name and badge number, sir? What's your name?
Have a seat.
Nobody's identifying themselves. I'm holding my phone because this is for my safety, ma'am.
Hold your phone, have a seat.
This is for my safety. Do you have any body cams?
Have a seat.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. You failed to identify yourself as a government official. I demand for you to contact your supervisor right away.
Funny that. You didn't seem to have any problem refusing to identify yourself. But now the shoe's on the other foot, it doesn't seem as amusing anymore, does it?
I'm her supervisor.
You're her supervisor, sir. What's your name and badge number, sir?
That's 422. You can read it yourself.
Okay, and what's your last name, sir?
Listen to me. What are you doing here today?
Sir, well, right now what we're doing is wasting our taxpayers' money and harassing,
Well, there is no we, is there? And it's you that are wasting taxpayers' money by tying up multiple law enforcement officers because you didn't want to tell them your name.
good citizen that's only gathering some content for a story. There's no reason for you guys to put your hands on me and search me and do what you do, because this is not Nazi Germany. This is the United States of America.
Well, if there was no crime, there was no need for you to refuse to identify yourself. But you didn't, so suck it up and deal with the consequences of your actions.
I do have an ID. I don't have it on me, and with all due respect, you should know that unless I'm being suspected of a crime...
No, you're no longer suspected of a crime. You've committed one in front of the police.
I do not have to provide that information. On the other hand, you guys have failed all to provide me with your name.
Where'd you park your vehicle?
Ma'am, that's none of your concern.
No, it really is my
That's none of your concern.
Exactly my
This is the United... You guys do... Listen, you guys do whatever you guys want. They have to do then.
Sir, what's your name?
I'm not answering questions.
I've asked them 20 times.
Okay, we can do this very simply. We just want to make sure, verify who you are, okay? What you're doing is engaging in suspicious activity. We got called here.
So I'm being detained.
We're talking...
Am I being detained?
Yes.
He isn't getting it, is he? Mate, those things the officer just put on your wrists aren't a pair of friendship bracelets. So yeah, you're being detained.
Now the supervisor has stepped in, and even he states the auditor is under detainment because they are investigating why he is there. A suspicious person report is not a good enough reason to detain somebody.
Maybe, I don't know, but that's not why he's being detained, is it? He's being detained for failing to identify when asked to by a law enforcement official.
I appreciate that, sir.
Okay, so listen, I'm asking what your name is, okay?
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
So you guys go ahead and do whatever you need to do. I'm not gonna answer any more questions. I will be contacting my lawyers for what you guys just did to me. This is invasion of my privacy. This is invasion of my rights. You guys are putting your hands in my pocket. I did not consent to any seizures or searches, and you guys will be hearing from me. I promise you. I promise you. I promise all of you. Thank you for identifying yourself, sir.
He did, didn't he? And look how easy it was for him. Imagine if you had done the same thing. You'd probably be halfway home by now, instead of in handcuffs.
The only one that's done it since I've been here. I've been illegally detained for absolutely no reason. And this lady right here, which I don't know her name yet, 516, will be hearing from me. And I'm sure you guys have a captain for the internal affairs that's gonna want to have a talk about this. I promise you. I promise you. You have illegally detained me. You put my hand in that burning hood. You're gonna hear from me.
Oh my god, what a baby! And whose fault is that exactly? All you had to do was tell him your name.
No, you guys are wasting our money. You guys work for the people.
Wasting my time.
No, well then leave. You're free to go. You're dismissed. Because what? We pay for your salary, and you need to stand away from me because
I pay my salary.
You pay your salary? As far as I know, we pay for your salary.
Oh, that one. Now I'm sure every police officer has been told at some point, my taxes pay your salary. And obviously I know that the police couldn't actually use any of these, but allow me to suggest a few responses.
We pay for your salary.
Sorry, but you're on welfare, so my taxes actually pay for you.
We pay for your salary.
Well, then you'll be happy to know that you're about to finance your own arrest.
We pay for your salary.
You pay for the jail too? Want to see the inside? It does beg the question though, who do people like this pathetic little excuse for a man call when they're in trouble? Their parents? Their big brother, perhaps?
Be free to leave
We-
if you were willing to. Be a
I
normal
will be
person
free
and
to
have a
leave,
conversation
and I'm not gonna
and prove
comply
that
with
it's
you
not-
because you are a jerk. Okay?
Jerk.
Yes, yes. There's other ways of approaching people, and I'm not a criminal for you guys to be treating me like
start
this.
screaming and
Okay?
swearing on the
Well,
sidewalk.
well, apparently you would do the same thing if somebody approaches you demanding stuff from you after you haven't done absolutely nothing.
You're filming at a restricted area. They have legitimate concerns about why you're over here.
They can have whatever
That's why- that's
concerns,
why you-
and you guys should be professional enough to post up over here and ask people whatever it is that you need to ask in a nicely manner, not aggressive manner like the unidentified
that the
officer
first
over
6
here
times.
does.
Ah, yes, excuse me, sir. Do you have an ID on you? People are wondering what you're doing here. Oh, and you're creeping everyone out.
Well, I don't know you, but I appreciate you identifying yourself.
We can start over.
I would definitely, yes, I would definitely speak to you, sir. What was your name again?
Quality.
Laquali. Okay, well, sir, I appreciate you identifying yourself as as your duties.
Duty. I love Americans. It's duty. Duty is what comes out of your butthole.
Yes.
They said they asked you what you were doing, right? They assumed you were filming the property.
I am.
Okay, you can't film the property.
Then that's
That's why we're here.
That's not.
That's the only reason why.
I am going to have to disagree with you, sir, because this is a public sidewalk.
What's the reason why?
Stand up, please. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest. Oh, for what crime,
Right now, disorderly conduct.
sir? I
Now I
have.
get that in court. You have the right to remain silent. Suggest you
How?
exercise.
What? How is it? I'm talking to you guys. You guys have illegally detained me. This is not,
When you go to law school, you can argue that in
sir.
court.
Sir, this is not right.
So you can be arrested for being a complete dick. I've often wondered that, and thank you to Mr. American Auditor for clearing the mystery up. So what do you think? Is this a topic that interests you? Because honestly, there are so many videos like this on YouTube, and if you thought flat earthers were idiots, then you may want to strap yourself in, because damn, these people really are taking being morons to a whole nother level. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm the Creaky Blinder, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.